my parents are doing a water fast, and I get to have all the food in the entire house. That's great news for me.
Hello, this is Colin on day one, which is Saturday the 5th of January 2013, and this is day one of the water fast.
I'm really hungry already.
So the last meal that I had was last night, finished about maybe 10 o'clock. I had some breakfast cereal.
And it's only, I think, about 10:30 in the morning.
And all I've had is water so far, and I'm starting to feel a bit peckish, but other than that, everything's pretty good.
And we're going into the full day. We're heading off into Sydney, so I'm not sure how I'll do. So far, all I can tell you is I feel really hungry. But apart from that, it's all good. We went into the city this morning on the train, and the first thing that we did was go into the city because there was a dance competition on where you could win tickets to this show that's coming up at the Opera House called Blaze.
Shiver me timbers. Next generation in the house. Oh, shit. With the quiet bullshit, make some noise for Reese.
Reese entered and he did amazingly and he won. It was at that point when I started to notice that I was feeling a little bit lightheaded. But after that, it was lunchtime for Reese, and so we went off to the food court, and Reese had sushi, and Colin and I just sat and watched and drank our water, which was funny that we did that because I thought the worst place I could possibly be when I was on a fast would be the food court, but interestingly enough, it actually didn't bother me at all. Although I have to say the smells of the food did smell so much more enticing than normal. But I'd made the decision inside myself that I wasn't going to eat, so it was fine, and we left from there. It's now 6 o'clock, and I'm pretty hungry. It's time for Reese's dinner, so Colin went off and made Reese some dinner.
I'm making beans on toast for Reese, and I'm putting a courgette in it because there's no way the courgette's going to get eaten by anyone else in the next 5 days. So,
as we were trying to discuss with Reese what he should have for dinner, I did find that everything that I mentioned to Reese that he could possibly have to eat just sounded amazingly tasty, and it was as if I could taste everything I suggested to him. I could taste it in my own mouth at the time. So we suggested pasta and pesto, and there was this amazing taste of pasta and pesto in my mouth. And then we suggested maybe some fruit or some other things, and it was like I could totally taste the things I was giving him. And even just talking about it now, I can feel that my mouth is watering with the thought of eating some food. But I'm going to stick it out. And that's where we're at just now.
when I was preparing food, it was surprisingly easy. I've just turned that piece off in my brain, and for me it was an activity. It wasn't really preparing food. I have to say though, I saw a couple of times, just as I looked around the kitchen, there was a part of me just wanted to reach out and grab, say, some buja mix, and that there's potential for an autopilot in that direction. Just go in that direction, stick your hand out and put it in your mouth. And I could kind of see that that was there. But other than that, I found it very easy.
One of the things I noticed while he was having dinner was that I could smell his food so acutely, and it just smelled amazing. He only had baked beans on toast, but even in the smell of baked beans, it was like it was gourmet baked beans, and that probably was cooked by the best chef in the world ever.
So I have to say I've really enjoyed today. I'm surprised, but once I got over the initial kind of hunger pangs, which wasn't even really that intense, I just stayed focused on everything except my stomach, just not listening to anything that's going on in that way. And so it's been very, very easy for me to do this. I've found so far, it's only the end of day one.
And then I really noticed that I was really smelly, like my armpits, they really stunk. And I put deodorant on this morning before I left the house. And admittedly, today it is very hot, but I had to go and have a shower, and as you might have noticed, that's Colin putting his thumb up. I've changed my dress today because since I had the shower, because I found that my sweat was really strong smelling, and I didn't really like that very much. When we decided to come out to the park, as I was walking along, I was really aware that my legs were really stiff and my calf muscles were really hurting. It was like I have cramp in different parts of my leg. It feels really good to have a walk, and really nice to be out in the open air for a little while before it's time to go back home when it gets dark.
The other thing I noticed as well is that there's a real softness to everything, and this has increased throughout the day, and I'm really enjoying that. I just feel very soft and very open, and I really see how good my life is, and that's a great thing.